Good evening to the Mayor and City Board Directors. My name is Dino Davis, and I come here from my concern for Mr. Blackshire and me, myself, being a victim of overzealous police and renegade police. I'm here to demand that Officer Stark is terminated and prosecuted to the full letter of the law for the murder of Bradley Blackshire. I also demand answers on why this investigation has not been turned over to the Arkansas State Police Department. Policies and procedures were not followed in an edited video released by the city and the police department. It also shows a bias in addressing issues that affect our community daily. It was apparent that Bradley Blackshire did not pose any immediate or imminent threat to Officer Starks. I have witnessed more outrage from the Little Rock City board members for issues such as business proposals and even what to do with paper thrown in a city park than addressing the murder of a young man by one of our own city's police. But the city board of directors have been silent, and I believe that is a shame. This, in my opinion, should be on the city's agenda today and hereafter. I ask the board to place aside your politics and stand for what's right by terminating and prosecuting Officer Starks. Please stand as real elected leaders for justice. This was nothing more or less than cold-blooded murder of one of your own citizens of Little Rock, Arkansas. Justice for Bradley Blackshire.
We'll now have Reverend Rozelle Aaron.
Good evening to the mayor and this board of directors and to those that are sitting behind me. Bradley Blackshire Jr., as some of you know, is my nephew. And so this is not just about a community matter. It's about family. Typically, I'm prepared to speak, but each time I see my nephew walk into a room, I get that roller coaster feeling in my stomach. And so I'm wishing I had have written this down. Many of you may not understand how critical it is when young men of any race lose their fathers, but especially in this manner. Now, we're preparing for in the event that Starks is not charged. We're meeting and we're organizing. And although I hope that I'm wrong, I'm concerned that he will not be charged. If he is not charged, we are going to do everything legally possible to hold this city accountable. We're meeting with different groups. We're organizing. We've got a meeting scheduled for tomorrow with some outside organizations. We've got commitment from out-of-state organizations, including the Black Panther Party. We may have reached a point of no return. If Starks is not prosecuted and if there is no justice for Bradley Blackshire Sr., there will not be justice for anyone. That means if we have to shut down the Pulaski County Circuit Court, shut down the prosecutor's office, City Hall, and shut down access to every one of your houses, then we're going to do everything that we have to do to hold the city accountable. It's not a threat. It's a guarantee. And when these people come from out of state, you'll have a better understanding and idea of what I'm talking about. I encourage you that if you have any influence with the prosecutor's office, that even if you don't think he can get a conviction, he needs to charge Starks, because once he tells us that he declines to prosecute Starks, I can say it best this way. It's going to be game on. I'm prepared to be arrested. I'm prepared to face these Little Rock police officers and anything else that we have in our face. I'll be out front. I'll be beside and behind all of the people that you see in this room. And even if I have to stand alone, I'm coming. I'm coming. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. No justice for Bradley. No justice for anyone.
Miss Dawn Jeffrey.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dawn Jeffrey, Ward 6. So today is March the 19th, and I know you guys know that, but you may not be aware that we are on day 25 of no charges being filed against Charles Starks for the murder of Bradley Blackshire. We haven't seen many leaders being vocal. We haven't seen real transparency, nor have we seen many of these corrupt cops of the LRPD be punished or terminated for their wrongdoing. The community is starting to lose whatever hope, if any, that they had in law enforcement and the powers that be when it comes to injustices in our community. I know you guys aren't responsible for bringing charges, but you can use your voices. You can approve funding to police the police. You can implement a citizens review board. Going forward, Arkansas needs to take more progressive strides for police accountability, starting with body cameras. We request a timeline on how long it will take to provide these body cameras and disciplinary actions if they're shut off. For example, in Memphis, Tennessee, lawmakers are working to make turn off your body cameras a felony after 3 officers murdered Marcavius Banks. So today, make no mistake about it, bringing charges is only the beginning. A life has been taken. He needs to be punished to the fullest extent and should be considered armed and dangerous and a danger to society until he is brought to justice. It's time to stop trying to do the right thing and start doing the right thing when our lives are on the line. We're tired of silence, and I completely back him. Until we start seeing justice in our communities, there will be no peace. We will show up. You will not be able to have business in your place of business. We will show up every time, as many days as it takes, because 25 days for the murder that we saw on the video is it. So I'm standing right here, and I vow the same vow that he took, that I will stand with this family and any other family that is subject to injustice in our communities, and it happened in Ward 6. Doris Wright, Ms. Doris Wright, I think you should be more vocal about what's going on in our communities and standing up for these injustices that's happening against us. And if you can't, and if y'all can't stand up, I'm not just speaking about you, but if y'all can't speak up for injustices and y'all turning y'all face up, but y'all know what's going on here. And if y'all can't speak up for the injustices that are happening in our community, then you need to step down.
Reverend Malik Safir. Reverend and Pastor.
I'm here as a representative of the family, first and foremost because I was called and asked by the family as a pastoral leader in the community to give the eulogy for Bradley. And I can tell you from a spiritual standpoint, this family has been traumatized. They came to me first because of their faith in God, that God is a God of justice, and that when God's people are treated cruelly and unjustly, they have to go to God first because of their faith in God. And so we're carrying the weight of this. We have been victimized by unjust process that's now allowed for accountability to be held for, in the same regard, for a black life as it is for other lives. So their faith in God. The other thing, the other reason I'm here is because of their faith in those who they elected to represent them. And that the reason we're meeting here is because of that faith. That we're appealing to that faith, that those who say they represent us, those who say they seek justice on our behalf, to take this opportunity now, hearing the concerns of this family and this community, to respond in a way that says that you will represent justice because it's in their best interest as well as your best interest. And I'm also here today because I am a pastor in the community to say that we also have faith in our community, that if the representatives of our community do not stand for justice, then we as a community have to stand for ourselves. And that is why we are vocal now to say that we want you to represent us. We want you to do your jobs. But if you fail to do those jobs, then we have to lean on our own understanding of justice and to evoke the community to rise up and seek justice for us. So I'm here as a pastoral leader in the community. I'm here as the pastor to this family to let them know that we stand on the side of God, a God of justice, and we're here to let you know that we stand with you as long as you represent us. We stand for your issues as long as you represent us. But when you stand against those things, then we have to stand with God and with ourselves to seek justice for those who deserve it. Thank you.
Ms. Davina Axum.
Good afternoon. Today I'm here to speak on the acts and events as they occurred on February 22nd and the officer-involved shooting involving my brother, Bradley Blackshire, and instigated by Officer Starks. First, I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak, and I appreciate the attempt to be transparent in your investigation and expediting the process to try to get answers for us, the friends and family of Bradley Blackshire, and hopefully justice in the senseless murder of my brother. Unfortunately, in the investigation, it's kind of brought up more questions than it has answers. And some of those I'm seeking out right now. In my research alone, I came across some 10-plus reprimands of Officer Starks prior to this one that came about. One of those in particular in 2016, Officer Starks, commanding supervisor, had recommended his termination. Upon recommending termination, the acting chief of police at that time, Alice Folk, went against that recommendation and instead gave him a 5-day suspension, which seems ridiculous to me. Now this Alice Folk is up for chief of police for our city. So are we taking into consideration these things as we go forward from here to vote for a chief of police? Because we're talking about somebody who overlooked 10-plus reprimands, moved past that. I don't know what those reprimands were, but obviously they were severe enough for his commanding supervisor to say he should be terminated. So what are we doing? If nothing changes, nothing changes. You say it's time for a change. What are we going to do to make a change so that this doesn't happen again to somebody else's brother, father? Bradley was the father of 5 children. Weeks before he died, he was talking to me about how he wanted to be a great dad and how he wanted to be more involved in their lives. And then in seconds, his life was taken. So what are we going to do to make sure that doesn't happen to somebody else? For that, we need answers and justice for Bradley. Thank you.
Montreal Ussery.
Hello, everybody. I'm Montreal. I'm Bradley's cousin. We're 4 days apart, same age. I just want to say I'm scared. I'm scared right now for my life, for my family's life. We scared, and I live an honest life. I've been working since I was 16 years old, never not had a job since I was 16. I do everything I think I'm supposed to do. I've been subject to this same exact thing because somebody thought I was in their car that was stolen that previous day. I was in my own vehicle, but now on Christmas night, I'm turned around and I have guns all drawn at me, 5 police cars. Oh, we made a mistake. What is that? Now I'm scared for my life. I'm scared. Nobody wants to do anything. Nobody wants to say anything. I don't know what to say. I don't know what y'all going to do. I really don't. All I know is any human being watches their videotape, whether it's edited or unedited. I see a murder in both. I see a murder, cold-blooded murder to my cousin. My cousin, a good cop. We love that man. Personality through the roof. Y'all should be sad that you didn't get to meet him because he was just that good of a guy. Why did he have to go like that? Nobody deserves that. Any human being can look at that and say, Stars needs to go. He got to go. We got to lock him up and throw away the key. They doing it to everybody else. All of my people. All of my people are getting locked up and the key's been thrown and they have no chance, no nothing. So I try to do what I can do as a 30-year-old man with a daughter. Do everything you can. Go to work. Make an honest living. Meet new people. Be happy. Be generous. Give. And I still got the same treatment. It doesn't even matter. Bradley did not stand a chance. The people are saying he got pulled over. He did not get pulled over. He was already comfortable in his parking spot. Listening to his music or talking to the old girl or whatever he was doing, he was comfortable. He got pulled up on like a gang member would pull up on somebody. Get out, get out, get out, get out. Boom. He never stood a chance. Anybody can say what they would have done in that situation. Anybody can say, but you're not in the situation. You've never been pulled over in that situation. You've been pulled over for a traffic ticket maybe, but you have not been pulled over with a man demanding you get out of your car with a gun in your face. You've never been through it. So don't say what you would do and what you would not do, what he should have did and what he didn't do, what he didn't do or didn't do. He didn't do anything that deserved him to be gone today. That's all I know. So if y'all can do anything, please bring this man to take Starks to jail and bring Bradley some justice. Because my family needs some peace. That's all I know. We tired and we restless. I stayed up all day yesterday. This is just too much. I don't even know why we even in this building right now. Thank you.
Mrs. Kim Blackshire Lee. And we will combine the time with Mr. D'Angelo Lee so that you all have a total of combined time together.
Okay. First of all, good evening, board members, mayor, and thank you everyone that came out to support Justice for Bradley. But this is just that, justice for the city. You know, I prepared a speech or something that I thought I wanted to say. But as the individuals came up to the mic and they spoke, I knew that God had already done what needed to be done in this situation. I didn't come up here to point fingers at the Little Rock Police Department or at the city board or anybody at this particular time. What I do know is that something has to change. That we need something to change in our city right now. This is not going to get any better. It's going to get worse. And I'm not trying to, my voice being heard, I'm not trying to turn this into any, threat to anyone or anything bad or anything like that. I just want justice for my son. I wouldn't wish this type of pain on no one. No mother, no father, no family at all. I mean, I look at my grandbabies. They went out to the grave today, and his young son is telling his daddy to wake up. He just want him to wake up, and he don't know he's not coming back no more. You know, right now I need the city to wake up and see what's going on around us right now. We need policies in place. We need procedures followed. We need individuals to hold individuals accountable. That's all I'm asking. I'm just asking that some justice in this situation, that the individuals that we elected and we put into office, because see, I voted. If some of you guys are sitting here, I held campaign signs for, and if I didn't hold them, a lot of the other women that I work with held them signs to put into office. And now, as a citizen, I'm asking you guys to help me, to help my family, to help our community right now. Because right now we're falling apart and we don't know what else to do at this point but to fight for what we know is right now. We need justice in this situation. We need somebody to stand up for us, and you guys are the ones that we elected into office to do that. I don't know. I've begged the community, and now I'm begging the city leaders. We just want some change. That's it. We just want some change. That's it. And justice for Bradley.
As a black man here in America, my life is quick to be taken by a person that's supposed to be brought into our communities to serve and protect us than by my own brother. That's facts. That's U.S. Department of Justice facts. We are subject to be killed quicker by a gun-ho, supremacist police officer than we are our own kind. If this was your son, what would you do?
Mr. David Coleman.
Mr. Mayor, Board of Directors, I truly believe Little Rock is at a seminal moment in time. What is going on in Little Rock is going on all over the country. But let me give you a quick historical perspective. In 1927, John Carter was hunted down in Little Rock, Arkansas. He was hung. He was set afire on 9th and Broadway. The police did nothing. In 1957, when black children, 9 of them, wanted to integrate Little Rock Central, the National Guard had to be called out. Police did nothing. 80% of white officers in the Little Rock Police Department do not live in Little Rock. How do you expect this community to feel trusted by the Little Rock Police Department when they don't live in our community? Now, we have a chance here because as the nation looks at us and other communities, as we look into the media and we see all of these people, all of these police officers across this country being acquitted, mistrials, cases never filed, all of the above, Little Rock has the opportunity that it missed in 1927 and in 1957 to do what's right. I, as a black man who is a law-abiding citizen, do not trust the police. I have no offense to them, but when I see a police car, I, as a law-abiding citizen, have fear. I shouldn't have to live that way. In 2019, in a city that I pay taxes for. Now, you heard the pain of these people. I'm almost in tears. I cannot believe that I live in a country that does not value me as a black man. I cannot believe that my son, who is fighting for this country, putting his life on the line in the military, that when he walks the streets of Little Rock, that his life is not valued. Now, this board has an opportunity. No, you can't determine whether or not cases will be filed. You cannot convict Officer Starks. But your voices need to be heard. Now is the time for leadership. It's not a black or white issue. Each one of you all just gave the Pledge of Allegiance to that flag. That flag means to me just as much as it means to you. The Constitution of the United States says that you cannot be the judge, the jury, and the executioner. That flag says to me that every person has the right to be judged by his or her peers. It seems to me in Little Rock and across this country that does not apply to me. And as a black man in America, I stand with the Blackshire family, and I stand with every black man across this country who live in fear every day of their life of the police department.
Mr. Roderick Talley.
I know y'all tired of seeing my face, but I'm here in support of Bradley Blackshire's family. And as a black man, I want to say there's nothing I can do about the color of my skin, and it shouldn't be a crime for me to be this color. I've been a victim of not just the situation that's apparent here, but I've been a victim of the police in Little Rock myself for being black. And I truly believe no parent should ever have to bury their child, and it definitely shouldn't come at the hands of those that are supposed to protect us. We don't feel safe as a race. We don't feel safe in this city. They patrol the neighborhoods. They're in the neighborhood more than we are, and they're harassing, and that's not policing. And not so much as just Bradley's family. Another young man, I don't want this to get swept under the rug either, Tyler Ashford, who was walking home and was harassed by the police and even shot at, and who's now facing capital murder, attempted capital murder of a police officer. It's a shame that it has taken this long for this city to do something when someone can make an accusation against me and I'm in handcuffs 30 minutes later, So the fact that it's to take almost a month for you all to not you all, but for this city, those that are in leadership, to put pressure on those to at least try to show us that you're trying to bring justice. Transparency is cool, but at the same time, when you're redacting or editing information, that's not being transparent at all. So I would like to say on behalf of everybody that has been a victim of not just in Little Rock, but throughout this nation, like Mr. Coleman said, I would ask Little Rock to take some leadership and some initiative and step up and show the people of this city that you care about them and you care about this family that just lost their son.
Ms. Shalonda Michelle.
Good evening to the family. Thank you for allowing us to speak on your behalf, and with you, to the board and to the mayor. Thank you so much. To reach out to this family means a lot, not just to them, but to all of us. When I ran for city board of director, I didn't run for the director's seat. I ran for my community seat. And each one of you represent the community. And to see only one person reaching out to this family is a disgrace. It's disrespectful, not to say the least. It's not an economic issue. It's not a social issue. It's none of that. It's not even a color issue. It's what's right. And this isn't right. It's not okay. To watch that video, it was disgusting to see what took place on that video. And for you all not to reach out to this family was disrespectful, and it was wrong. Now, we have an opportunity to make things right. We have an opportunity to take this now and develop relationships with our police officers and communities, no matter where you come from, no matter what your economic status is, the color of your skin. It doesn't matter at this point. What matters is making sure that when mothers like me and Ms. Blackshear, our children, our sons step out, we feel like they're safe. we feel like they're going to come back home and they're not going to be discriminated on. This is a time where we can take our relationships with police officers and develop programs. You have pilot programs for the homeless. That's great. I've been there before. But how about pilot programs that can help develop relationships with communities such as where we come from? If we want to solve the issue, you have to have compassion outside of just your own agendas. You were in their faces when you wanted votes, but you're not in their faces when they need you most. With all due respect, this took place in Ward 6. I have not heard that you've reached out to this family. You owe that to them. You owe that to them. You owe it to them. All of you, the ones, especially those that really say that Black Power on the board, you owe this to them. Not for some political agenda, but it goes beyond this because they will need healing. And then we don't want police officers to feel that we are against you, but we need to know that you all are for us and with us too. It's a team effort. Thank you. I appreciate you. And again, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for reaching out. That meant a lot to our community.
Dominique Bailey.
Hello, Mayor and Board. As the lady that just stepped away stated, it is not a color issue. It's an issue about what your heart is saying, what your heart is feeling. My 5-year-old asked me, Mama, did the police kill Bradley on accident? And that comes from a kid that tells me, I want to be a police when I grow up. So I'm driving, and I tell him, baby, no. He said, no, Mama, it was an accident. No, that's not okay. Every day, his babies and his mama and his sister and his dad and his cousins and his friends will never get to see him again because of the person that was supposed to serve and protect. You have the right to say, what's your badge number? What's your name? Who are you? Why am I being pulled over? In the tape, he clearly says, I did nothing. What did I do? His name is not Dude. His name is Bradley. All this family is asking for is justice. And that will come when each and last every one of you see that that was not okay. He was not trying to escape. He was not being hostile. He was not being aggressive. And every day I look on the news or I'm looking on the media and I'm seeing all these churches being shot up, all these schools being shot up. And not one of those people were gunned down. They're in cuffs. But my cousin was gunned down and slaughtered like an animal. And he was a man, a good man. I'm on the freeway, ran over a ladder. He saw me and pulled me over, took me home, made sure I was okay. His heart was genuine. And I just hope every last one of y'all heart is just as genuine as his, because he did not deserve that. And until this community and you as elected officials realize we are in a time to where it's troubled and we're fending for our own lives as black people, as white people, as Hispanic people. It doesn't matter. Race is nothing. We all bleed. We all die. We all brush our teeth in the morning because our breath stink. So at the end of the day, give Miss Blackshire some justice for her baby, because that was her only boy. And I can never imagine in a million years me getting one of my boys taken from me by a man that was supposed to protect him. That is not okay. Justice for my cousin Bradley.
Miss Sarah Riley.
as my mom said, only one person reached out to this family, and it was you. So what I'm about to say does not apply to you. I only saw one person wipe a tear from their eye. It was you. And the fact that I don't see any of you guys wiping a tear from your eye after she spoke. Her son is dead.
Miss Battany or Brittany, Colette. She doesn't. Okay. Jessica Shreks. He's.
Hello. I would just like to say that not only does this happen just in Little Rock, it happens all over the world. I had a friend that died in the same course of action a couple years ago that was gunned down just because. I mean, for no reason. I mean, if y'all don't start doing something about this and give this family some justice and some peace, there is going to be no peace. Because we're going to fight until it's all over with, until we get some justice. One way or another, it's going to happen. Because I'm going to stand by this family no matter what. And it ain't got nothing to do with no skin color. That's my mama right there. She has helped so many people and saved so many lives. For y'all to take her son's life like y'all did.
Vernita McFadden.
Good evening, Mayor, council people, family, friends. You know, as I sit back and I think over my 50 years of life, you know, and I'm originally from Chicago, and you guys know that there's a lot of crime going on in Chicago. My family actually originated from Arkansas. My boys have now moved back to Chicago. Now, we know how Chicago is, you know, murder capital. But there's nothing more devastating when you don't even want your boys to return back here to Arkansas. I fear their lives is more threatened here than in Chicago. Think about that for a minute. There has been no murders in North Little Rock. What's going on here in Little Rock? When you have, there's so many questions that I have. You know, one, why was he pulled over from the first place? Okay, they said it was a stolen car. But how can a car be stolen on December the 10th, 12th, whatever date it was, to be located or to be reported stolen on January the 4th? From January the 4th till February the 22nd, you mean to tell me that this car was never registered? The person that the car was supposed to have not been returned by, the customer service person says, oh, you returned that. You never rented a car until, what, June of 2018? So, who was in possession of the car? See, there's too many questions and not enough answers. Where's the Turner Affairs? Where's the board? Where's the chief of police? Where are the people? Where are these lawmakers that are supposed to be in place, like someone said, that are in place to protect the community? Are we a community? You know, and when we say community, that should mean each and every last person that's on this panel. You know, my condolences to the family, you know. And see, as I can honestly say, this made me a family. This whole, I never met Bradley, but I've met him through each and every person that has stood here. I know his heart. I know his spirit. And it's going to live on. Right. Some way or the other, it's going to live on. You know, as someone else mentioned, what if it was your child? It might as well have been my own child. Because I feel the hurt, I feel the pain, I feel the anguish. And it's about trying to get some justice and some peace. Thank you.
Robin Jefferson.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Robin Jefferson. I am really close friends with the family. Kim is one of my best friends. And her and I share in common. We both have 2 daughters and 1 son. And we worked together for a long time. And we always talked about our kids and different things that they did. And to think that this situation would end so tragic. We thought about all the things that our children could get into and things that could happen. But we never would think that it would be someone that was being paid by our tax dollars to protect and serve our children that will kill her son. This situation is something that needs immediate attention. This family has suffered enough. It's been almost 30 days. The transparency has been somewhat pretty good. I don't think that everything that could have been done has been done. And I believe that each of you hold a place that can expedite this more. We're requesting your help. We're asking that you help us in any way possible at this time. This family has suffered. They need to make it to a place where they're able to begin to process some closure. And we're asking that you just help us at this time. Thank you.
Miss Ivana Williams. You're going to pass?
I just really came up here to say this. When I say, like she said, these are tears that are falling. My brother got 5 kids that now do not have a father. My mama now does not have a son. Nobody feel the hurt that me and my sister feel when we hear our mama crying and weeping and calling us in the middle of the night. Now they're calling us because they're checking on their grandkids. They're checking on they're afraid for everybody now. My kids are scared. I got one that's 6 years old, and everybody in here knows Diana. No, she's afraid of the police. And now she does not even like to come out the house. My kids they don't want to go to school because they don't want to have interactions with the police. We can't go to Walmart because police are sitting at the door because they're scared and they're afraid. And that's not good. I have 2 boys of my own. And I'm afraid not only for my boys, for my girls too. Because they can be in the car, they could be the girl that was in the car and got shot. So it's not right. And yes, I am upset that we elected a lot of people. The vice mayor, she's up here clicking her teeth and she has blinking her eyes. She's not saying anything. She is not any emotion. And we voted for her. It's not right. It's not a race thing. I'm not racist at all. I work right now with people that are not my color. Right now, I take care of them every day. Y'all mamas and y'all other people, I take care of them. I make sure they're okay. And it's not right because I put in for my effort to make sure that y'all are okay, but y'all not understanding where my family is coming from and where the hurt is coming from my family. I got 1 brother. And it hurts. It hurts really bad that my mama could have been sitting in any one of y'all seats. Anyone. Because I guarantee you, half this audience, she has helped. And we're only asking that y'all help us so that we won't have to turn over into something else. Y'all putting 80,000 into something else when y'all could be putting 80,000 into body cams and making sure that my son is okay. It could be 80,000 into something that making sure that we're safe. Because I'm paying for it. I'm making sure. I've been working since I was 16. Matter of fact, Mama, I've been working since I was 15, right? And I made sure and I put in my taxes. So it's not right that we pay so much money, because I know I get at least $250 took out of my check every 2 weeks, that we paying these police officers. So we need some justice for my family. I know y'all don't gotta care, but I do. And if I don't get justice for my brother, and I don't want it to be violence, I don't want it to be more. I don't want to call this people from out of states and this and that and do all that. All I want is justice for Bradley Jamal Blackshaw Sr. That's it. And his 5 kids and my mama. That's all. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
No. Director Hendricks.
I'm supportive of everything that's been said, but I wanted to ask you how many more cards do we have or how many more minutes do we have? Because I want to make a motion that we adhere to those requests that we have heard. I agree with them. We have sat here and done nothing. And I want you all to know I am an official of the NAACP for 50 years, and I know what you're going through, okay?
Actions speak louder than words.
Okay. So we need to, how many more minutes do we have, Mayor?
NAACP.
How many more minutes? Do we have many more minutes left?
Everyone, 1 second, please. Director Hendricks, out of personal privilege, we've already extended time.
Okay.
We're going to allow, we have 3 more left, but I want to make certain that the community was able to share everything that they wanted to share.
Thank you.
So we have extended that time.
Mayor.
Ms. LaToya Bailey.
Mayor. Oh, I just wanted to let the crowd know I'm ready to take some action for you. That's it.
Ms. LaToya Bailey. LaToya Bailey. Saying it a third time, LaToya Bailey. We'll move on to Ashanti Carter. Ashanti Carter. Is that you, Ms. Carter?
Hello, everybody. My name is Ashanti Carter. I really didn't know Bradley, but this really hit home for me because I have one son. He's 23 years old, and he's currently in college in Oklahoma. But he's down here visiting right now. And I really want him to go back to Oklahoma. I don't want him down here because I fear for his life. You know what I'm saying? And he always check on me and see how I'm doing. And like today, I told him I wasn't going to be at home. He wanted to come see me. So as a mother, I say, when are you going back to Oklahoma? Because this needs to be justice for this family right here. The police supposed to protect us, but they're not. Majority of the things I see police is sitting around harassing our color all the time. Why should be 4 police officers on 1 black guy? I see it all the time. I see it. Does it take that many police to harass 1 black man? Does it? So all I say, I want justice for this family. Or no peace. That's all I gotta say. Black power.
Brenda Woods, please. Miss Brenda Woods.
Hello, Mayor, Board. I would just like to say that I understand what my family is going through because I have a son, and my thing is, he has a record. Bradley had a record. My thing is, just because they had a record, does this give them the right to be murdered? I don't understand it. Maybe some of you all can make me understand. I'm a female, and I'm not going to lie. I'm fearful of the police. I really am. I'm not going to lie. I'm not just saying it. I'm a female, and I'm fearful of the police. I have a 38-year-old son. Every day I call him. Every day. When he's out, police stop him, I tell him to call me. Stay on the phone with me. Talk with me. Police stopped him one day. I'm way out there on Rodney Parham. I talked to my son. I tell the police I'll be there. Hold on. You talking to your mother. They wants to joke. Oh, you talking to your mommy? I said, put him on speakerphone. I said, I don't mean any harm. I said, but officer, what color are you? What color is your partner? I told my son to talk to me until I get there. They think it was a joke. No, it was not a joke. It's not a joke. We're not trying to make it a race war. All we need is justice for my family. No black male should be fearful of even just walking down the street. I've seen it. I've seen it in my neighborhood. They're not doing nothing. Walking to the store. What they do? Swing down on them. Some of them, they know they alcoholics. They ain't got no ID. But you see them all the time. So why you have to harass them? It's not fair. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that we're so fearful of the police department. I fear for my son. I fear for Miss Bradshaw. I fear for her grandchildren. I'm not going to lie. I look at these babies. I look at his son. He looks up to me. Asks me. I don't know. He asks me. Why the police kill my daddy? My daddy. What can I tell him? I don't know what to tell him. I try not to talk against the police department, but we're going to call it what it is. Murder. Cold-blooded murder.
Miss Tamikia Jackson.
Mayor and council, I can't really talk. My baby's 10 years old. And I'm scared to death for him to grow up right now. I did move. I moved way out, but it don't make no difference. My friend Kim, her soul, her blood, her sweat is in a whole bunch of people's lives. She dedicated her life so that others can live, to learn to live on a daily basis. I watch her clean out her closets, call me to clean out my closets. Well, how much money you got so we can feed these folks, these homeless folks down here? We ain't got no grant. I know this whole world, I know all of them, doing it every day. She had all them girls over the corners out there working for y'all to get elected. Reforming them back into society, to be a part of society, to make something, and trying to convince them that this was y'all was going to work for them. I'm talking about this thing right here don't sleep. She is working She had three treatment centers on the board, parole officers, this and that, going to school, getting their masters, got grandkids, got this and that, fulfilling, being a family member, being a wife, being a friend, what more can you want? And her son was shot 17 times, and you tell me what can you even say? He was shot. I didn't know what to say when I seen that bullet in the side of his neck, because they couldn't even cover it up. Thank you.
We have now extended our time, but I want to make a few comments. First and foremost, to Ms. Kim and Mr. D'Angelo, and the entire Bradley Blackshire family and his children, his friends, his entire community. The Blackshires, you know I've already said things with you, and I will continue to be in prayer. But it's more than prayer. Faith without works is dead. And as a son of this city, knowing Miss Kim, to know what you call as Paw Paw, I call as Uncle Choke. I know your fabric. I know your cloth and your work. We as a city have to make certain that we embody trust and even verification of trust through accountability, through clarity and transparency. All we have is time. 60 seconds, 60 minutes, 24 hours, 365 days. And each moment is a blessing and it's precious. And any loss of time, any loss of life is always valuable. And we remain in prayer for your family and this entire community and this city. We know, and it's been shared before, that our community is in need of repair, is in need of improvement, to help us make certain that we are very intentional on how we move from being disconnected to connected. And through those connections, we understand diversity, we understand inclusion, we understand perspective, we even understand lifestyle, to make certain when certain things happen, we understand how even to react. So, with even in time, as your mayor, I'll never forget February 22nd. February 22nd was my 53rd day in office. And no mayor prepares for a day like that day. 2 days later, we communed in prayer. We continue to do the same thing, but as I said, we have to move more than just sharing that we are saying prayers. We have to move towards action. What does action look like? Action looks like, on Friday, I should have on my desk, Mr. Carpenter, our first Citizen Review Board ordinance that we'll bring before the City Board of Directors to be voted on. That is an independent Citizen Review Board in the efforts of police misconduct, police brutality, as we move forward. But not only that, we have to understand that this city made conscious decisions in the wake of Bradley Blackshire's death. In 13 days, we released the tape. And I'll never forget those 13 days to even make that decision. Because that decision was made with the community in mind, the city in mind. And we still have discussed the coming days. We do know that we have to always respect due process. We have to. And I know Pastor Rizal Aaron understands that process and how he's chosen his words. And as we respect due process, we understand now, due to expediting the release of that video, which normally takes 45 days, it was expedited in 13 days. So things can be done as that was done. I want to address that. Mr. Pastor Rizal Aaron, Miss Kim, Mr. D'Angelo, and Mr. Durrell, and I all watched the tape. I can assure you, after we did do a narrative to make certain that everyone understood all the facts. Please. Now, Mr. Raycop, nothing's been edited except for, I will say what was edited was the dial tone of the phone, the ringing tone of the phone was turned down. That was. Now, Mr. Raycop, I'm talking right now. I'm talking right now. Because you will not exploit this family for your own good. You will not do that. You will not do that. You will not do that. I will carry on, Mr. Raycop. As we will continue to move forward in this citizen review board process and police accountability, I'm glad that we are continuing to move that forward. So thank you so much.
No peace. No justice. 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 No peace. None. None.
When we place 911 calls, if they can come and show up on time and not be 45 minutes late, will we have to take matters in our own hands also? Chris. Just because they wear a gun in the bag, they don't have to talk to us any kind of way, because we'll talk to them any kind of way, then they want to handcuff us and arrest us because they say we disorderly conduct. That's what they're doing. They didn't call my name to speak, but I'm going to say it. I hope I'm getting recorded. I know. I'm appreciative.